Yep, go for it. That's better.
Hello, welcome to Monday Night Live 57. Hello everyone.
G'day everyone.
Craig here from Ozzy Metal Detecting. Welcome Craig. Lovely to have you here again.
Love to be on the show.
It's been a little while, hasn't it?
It has, mate.
Yeah, when was the last? It was before Christmas, wasn't it?
Yep.
So,
Months ago,
yeah. So, welcome everyone. We got our giveaway tonight. So, I'll take that price tag off. It's a $50 fines pouch. I reckon one of the best fine pouches going around. It's got a mesh bottom in it, perfect for the beach.
Yeah.
So, yeah, one share per person. Share away. Go in the draw, and we'll draw that at the end of the show. So, all right. So we got a stack of announcements to do tonight. There's a stack of people here too. So we got Andrew and Donna and Tony. G'day Tony. James is here. Bradley, Josh, Adrian, Ian. Lots and lots of people. So welcome guys. Donnie's here too. I got some stuff from Donnie. Narelle's here as well. Narelle had a good find. She just actually sent me a picture of it. Some nice little nuggets up in North Queensland there over the weekend. So
yeah, good stuff.
well done, Narelle. Yes, so CQ detectors are in the house. Welcome, guys. So Grotty Gold's here as well. So everyone's here. Jay's here and Kieran, excellent. So we might just rattle through a couple of announcements first. One that's on this weekend coming for our WA listeners is Detect 19 is on at York in WA, 5 days away, so February 23, 10 a.m. local time over there. So
Looks good.
it's a good little. It's certainly, I think, a good little event. It's been going for a little bit of time over there. So, so that's a cracking thing. So if you're in WA, get on that because it will be a stack of fun. Any of these events you go on, have you been on any of these event things?
I haven't, but I'd love to get on.
Yeah, they're fantastic little things to go along. You tend to sit around and chat a lot of rubbish, but
nothing wrong with that.
But there's some advantage to that. There's no doubt about that. So if you can, get along to that one. So Bob Stone's here, Kylie, Scott, Brian, Matt's here, Brody, Stacks, Benny Reed. How you going?
G'day guys, how are you?
Lots of guys. Metal detecting around Griffiths is here.
Yeah, Mark.
All the groups.
Talk to him online.
Yeah. Leanne. Leanne is still looking for her USB. Thank you for the reminder, Leanne. I'm sure I made noise about sending it to you, Leanne. So I will make sure I do that. I've written it down and I will give it to Natalie. So my apologies for that. I am crap at that sort of stuff. So right. So tonight we're going to have a little bit of a chat about relics. Tonight's a relic evening. We've got the guru here, Craig, from Ozzy Metal Detecting. Fantastic Facebook group. Look, I've even got look at this. I can go whack and
there it is.
Bash that logo in there. So that's what you're looking for on Facebook. It's a fantastic group. A fantastic group to get involved with. It's very well
moderated.
Very well. So there's no swearing and none of that sort of business goes on, and it's pretty family friendly.
That's
so
what it's about, family friendly.
Yeah. So so if you want to get on a great relic site, get onto Ozzy sort of thing. So that's a great Facebook group. So relics. So Craig, you haven't bought in, but you've sent me a whole stack of photos. Do you want to? Will we have a look at some of these photos first?
Sure, mate. Yeah, put them up.
We'll just throw up. This one intrigued me a little bit here. There's a couple of bits and pieces there. Tell me about this little grouping of coins. So how long? Over what period? What was the site? What was the? Don't tell me. Obviously, you're not going to give away all your secrets, but
nope.
But was that a military site? Was that a Tell me about that one.
Sure. Okay, so this one here was a couple of weeks ago, and I did a bit of research over this one before I actually went out and did some recon on it. It was like an old kind of a township site, so it had a lot of what is it now? It was near pubs and things like that. So it's an 1800 site, this particular one. That, as you can see in the picture, was an old pocket watch back. That's sterling silver, that one.
Oh, cool.
Have
we got a bigger picture of that? I think we might.
I don't think I did.
So.
No, it's just in that one there. But basically, this was a large concentration. So a lot of people have been on here. There was fairgrounds. They had a lot of what was it now? Schools, and fair kind of thing, like school fairs and things like that.
Oh, right,
in that
okay.
particular site. So this is back in the early. The whole thing probably ranges from 1883 up to about 1958. 60, something like that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of history there. As you can see, there's a lot of coinage there. This was absolute virgin ground, so no one had detected it.
Oh, really?
But there was some old coins in there. If you can see, 1, 2, 3 up from the actual watch back.
3 up from the watch back.
Yeah.
Little sixpence.
Yeah, the little sixpence. There's
Yeah,
some really old ones in there. Also, I want to point out too, there's a clay marble there as well. Now, they stopped making those around about, I think, 1907.
Wow, that's early, isn't it?
So, yeah, the clay marble came out of where next to one of the coins.
Yep.
So
you reckon it was, yeah, you reckon it was lost with the coin?
I think so.
Yeah. So that was a day, was it?
That was just one day.
Yeah.
That was a whole day's hunt.
Yeah.
You can see some moderns in there as well, obviously.
So. Yeah. So that's a fantastic result, really, isn't it? So
it's very tiring.
And then I bet.
Jesus.
And then these couple here, these are just. Is that the same? Is that a different hunt?
That was yesterday's hunt. That was a mixture, basically, of the site from the last photo and a new site I had. The Rising Sun actually was a site that I researched on the way up there and popped into, and that was like the second target. The first target was a penny, the second target was a Rising Sun hat badge, so I'm going to go back to that one again. But then I went back to the other two and popped in, and as you can see up in the top left hand corner, there's a nice little relic there. There's an 1800s ladies belt buckle.
Oh, wow.
Very ornate. And I've actually got a single one down here, which you can actually see that.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. It's a nice
that's it there. So,
brass.
Yeah, that's nice. And do you reckon that was gilded or something originally? Probably.
That probably would have been gilded at one stage.
Yeah.
So there was a good mix of relics coming out of that area.
Let's get back to that other photo there.
Yep.
And what's that up the top there? That's a lamp. A kerosene lamp thing, but what's next to it?
It looks like an ornate doorknob, I think it is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that was solid brass, obviously, as well. You can see by the green patina on it.
Yep.
But that was a very...
That would have screamed.
That absolutely blew my headphones off there, Ben. I'll tell you, it was incredible.
Yep.
But yeah, I got a good mix, and there's also a cross there, as you can see as well. There's up next to the knob and the Rising Sun.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
And what's that blue? And it's got some writing on it. What's that got on it?
Blue. That's actually a religious cross. That one.
Yeah.
And it's got a chalice on it, and it's got some lovely blue patina on there. Some enamel still there.
Enamel there. Yeah. Rodney's just asking what machine were you using?
CTX, of course.
3030.
Yeah,
so
3030.
Yeah. So
standard coil.
Standard coil.
Standard coil.
Some sort of flash settings.
Yeah, actually, I don't run the standard modes anymore. I've downloaded some of Clive's gold page, which is actually on Ozzy. If you go into the Ozzy file section there, we've got all those links in there. And I've downloaded and modified the CTX to suit myself. So I've got some pre-decimal programs there, which I've tinkered around with, and obviously you can see the results. It's been really a good machine now.
But even in factory settings,
that's right, mate.
You're right. I enjoyed it. Even in factory settings, the 3030 is a good machine.
Oh, fantastic!
So, yeah.
It's ideal for this.
Yeah. So you can go on to, so you've got those custom settings on the Ozzy page that you can go into files and look at that, have you?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yes, you go into the Aussie files and you'll see, you have to go link through. So the link to Clive's goal page
Oh, is there?
is there.
Yeah.
Go through CTX 3030 programs.
Yeah.
You go in there and you can pull out what you want.
Yeah.
So I've pulled those out, and I've a selection of 3 or 4, and 2 of those I've slightly modified myself to suit my own hunting. So no standard.
Yeah.
No standard modes I'm running at the moment. With
Yeah,
that.
okay. So that's the other advantage of some of these pages, particularly Craig's page, is that you can go on there and get some more updated settings and links to where to go and all. And you start asking these blokes for a bit of advice, you'll get sick of them. You'll ask them to shut up. So so if you've got some of these machines that are programmable, ask around because so I've just got it. We'll go back here. Someone was mentioning here before. Richard was mentioning that he thought that might have been gold plated. Any sign of whether it was gold plated or silver or?
No. I thought I saw a bit of a tinge there on the back, but I don't think I've got a photo of that.
There's no photo.
Generally, you'll see it on once. When I actually pull a lot of these gilded badges, military badges out of the ground, you will flip them over and you'll still see a little bit of gold there.
Yeah.
But,
depending how much weather.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's a beautiful find. So, right, what else have we got here? This is one of my favourites, this fella here. Let me get him up here.
Yep.
What's that?
Right. That is a 1950s Texan Junior cap gun.
Texan Junior.
This is one for Rod Roach. So, Roddy, if you're watching, there you go, mate. I ended up finding my first Texan Junior. Now, Rod Roach is a member of our site, and he finds a lot of these, believe me.
Oh, really?
He's almost like the guru.
He's the cap gun man.
He's the cap gun man.
Yeah.
But I was quite impressed about the actual handles snapped there, but I put it back together so everyone can see.
Oh, it's snapped between the handle and the...
You can see it.
Yeah.
But it's a nice old relic, something,
Oh, it's interesting. It's fascinating when you find something like that.
Absolutely.
And coming out of the ground,
Yep.
do you ever think, is this real?
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw the handle actually. I went, ooh.
I've never found a cap gun. So I always find them pretty fascinating.
Absolutely.
Toy cars and cap guns.
Yeah.
Now we got a few coins here.
Right.
We'll go and have a look at a few coins, hey. So you'll have to explain this one to me. So what's that fella there?
Well, this little baby here was an absolute cracker. I found this one yesterday. It's a Britannia, a 1908 Britannia penny.
So that was yesterday, was it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that is in absolute pristine condition.
Yep.
Yep.
And so what's that made out of?
Oh, these ones. Okay, so the Britannias are more bronze than copper.
Yep.
So a lot of the older...
Because it looks greener.
Yeah. They're fantastic. That's right, a beautiful patina.
Yeah.
What happened was a lot of these pennies got melted down and used in our, or the pre-decimals after 1910 onwards. So a lot of our pennies from those eras up was actually made from a lot of these coins, these particular coins that were melted down. So you've got that copper-bronze mix. But these are amazing because they have that beautiful patina right through. I actually found another one, which you'll probably see in there as well.
Is that?
It's a Vicky.
Yeah,
and that's,
that one.
I also found this yesterday as well. It was a 1863, Ben.
1863, that's early.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bunhead Victorian penny, as you can see.
Yep.
But
yeah,
I think I had a smaller one there.
Was it this one here? No, that's a 1 cent. Can't see it there.
No, I probably didn't send it through, but she's 1863. I actually cracked my my oldest coin yesterday, so it was a big day for me.
Yeah. So let's look at some of these silvers. So there's some silvers here.
Yep.
That's a nice little.
Yep. 1907. That was 2 weeks ago. That one.
That looks in almost perfect nick.
Yep.
Like that. That doesn't look like it's got a stack of wear on it at all.
No, it's incredible the detail on that, guys.
Yeah. Nice sharp edges on it, sort of thing.
Beautiful.
So, yeah. And then we've got, this is my favourite coin. Favourite Australian coin.
You love them?
Oh, I love them. Never found one, but
You've never found one?
never found one. I'm not a relic guy.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
go looking for relics.
I won't rub it into him, folks, but I actually found 3 yesterday.
Yeah. That's all right. That's all right. So, yeah. So it's a nice little. It's a 43.
It's a 43, is it? 92% silver.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this one. This is a beautiful one, guys.
Which side do you want first?
Well, start off with that one first.
Yeah.
Okay,
There we go.
This one's a Britannia. Right,
Let
this
me
is
get it a bit
92% silver. I found this 2 weeks ago. This was an absolute cracker. This blew my headphones clean off. Now, this one here is Victorian 18, I believe it's the 1889.
Yep.
There you go. So on the actual particular place that I researched and went to, this permission started from 1889. So the buildings were built in 1889. So this was dropped when they first
really?
went up.
Yeah. That's a beautiful coin. And was it an old homestead site or what was it? That's a beautiful coin.
This one was like part of where the homestead was.
Yep.
But they built some more buildings. I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah.
But they built more buildings around that area and started developing more of that area.
Yeah.
Then there was a school.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of that's the population started to grow in that time and that era around that. And this is what you're finding, these older coins that have been lying there ever since.
It's like, for the age of that coin, like the detail on particularly that side of the coin is just beautiful, isn't it? Like they're certainly not made like the current coins are made. The quality's a little bit better.
No.
So
when that actually came out of the ground, and this ground is very, very kind to the coins, whether it be silver or whether it be copper.
Yep.
Because a lot of the coppers that I find are bubbling and all the rest of it, because you can see the detail.
Yeah.
When I rub the soil back, I just could not get over the detail on either side.
That's a quality find, that. So yeah. No, that's pretty interesting. So here's a close up of the. Actually, I'll leave it that small so the cross is in it, but that's the Kero burner or the oil burner.
Oil burner, yeah. One of those oil lamps.
Yeah.
So that's the actually regulated part there.
That other bit that you thought was a doorknob.
Yep.
Could that have been one of those hooks that they tie the curtains back with? Maybe being that it seems like it's square on the ends, flat on the ends, sort of thing.
It could be quite.
Was that bottom edge quite sharp around the edge, or
no? Like, it was dull. It was dull, but it was fairly square.
Not like a knob. Not like a knob.
No. Yeah. But what I thought it might have been, because working with a lot of doorknobs and antique doorknobs, I thought there might have been a porcelain section.
Oh, cap on it.
That may come off.
Yeah. Quite possibly. And there's the cross in the bottom corner there.
Yep.
So beautiful. And I think there's a close up of
straight out of the ground. I just rubbed it off.
The knob in question.
Yeah. Wish I had another shot of the reverse. Would be nice.
Yeah. Did it look like it needed something on? Like
yes.
it looked like something belonged on the end of it, sort of thing. So
yeah. It had like a recessed section. So once you went over the lip and then went back in again, it looked like something sat into it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and then was that in the badge in the earlier photos? Was it, or is this a different badge?
Yeah. This is with the badge. This was on the way there. This was the other site that I researched as well on the way to this. One with the badge and the buckles and all the rest of it. So that was completely blew me away. I didn't expect to get a Rising Sun hat badge.
Yeah. Well, they're everywhere, aren't they?
Well, that's right. I mean, during that era, World War One, World War Two, they, the diggers were all out. They were coming home, and so
and they
could have quite easily got thrown away.
They didn't mind a drink either.
They didn't mind a drink. So they're probably rolling around having a bit of fisticuffs in the bush somewhere. And fell off. Who knows?
Fall asleep halfway home.
You got it, buddy.
Yeah. So before we go, we got more. There is more coming. So before we go too much further, for those that have just joined late, I'm Ben from Gold Diggers. Got a little shop here in Brisbane. Craig's from Ozzy Metal Detecting, the greatest Facebook group on the planet. Tonight's prize is a Detector Pro. These are a $50 fines pouch. Really, really good. Mesh base in the bottom. Pinpointed pocket with a loop to hold onto it. You put your digger on the other side. Great little fines pouch. so all you need to do is share this live stream.
Yeah.
You can only enter once, but share this live stream, and at the end of the show we'll draw it out and see where we end up with, sort of thing. So
just show you this for a second.
you can.
That is amazing, that. There's so much room in that. It's incredible.
It's a big pouch.
Absolutely. And I do a bit of beach hunting, and you're absolutely right. You've
That
got
mesh
that.
is great.
Look at that. And
Yeah.
it's really good quality too, isn't it?
Yeah. I've switched over to them exclusively. I've used a Stacker Finds pouch, and that one by the far. Well, there's that one, and then there's one that's $69, and it's a little bit bigger, but it's got wire in the top.
Oh, okay.
That runs around this top edge.
Yep.
So with this top edge, you can pull it open, it stays open, and you push it shut, and it stays
Stay
shut,
shut.
sort of thing. So
That's handy, isn't it?
I would have given one of them away tonight, but I've sold out of it. So it's the $49 one tonight. So, but anyway,
Nothing wrong with that.
so that's who we are.
Yep.
We do this every Monday night. Well, we don't, but I do.
Yeah, I'll come along every now and again.
Yeah, Craig's
my head
a regular contributor, one might say.
Yep.
So, right, so we've got a couple of more coins here. We've got a couple of more bits and pieces. We've just got to set this up here. G'day, Trevor. How are you, Trevor? And Anthony's here. There's a stack of people here.
Hey, guys.
So, tell me about this little
little
find here.
Ah, right. Okay, so
Tell me a story.
that is a while ago now. That would have been about 3 years ago. But I thought because we're on Relics, and I am a military hunter, and I love my military relics, I thought I'd bring it along. So that there is a Bren gun magazine. That one.
A Bren gun.
A Bren gun magazine.
Awesome.
And she's totally chock-a-block full of ammunition, as you can see.
Yep.
So I did not find that one.
All right. Okay.
That one there is what I was there when he found it. It was a
Yep.
good mate of mine found that particular one.
Yep.
And we also found soldiers' boots in that hole.
Oh, really?
Some Coke bottles in that hole.
So do you reckon that was a dump?
That was a dump.
Yep.
Yeah, it was down near a creek line actually.
Yep.
But I thought it was rather interesting. I was going through the pictures, and I thought I'd put you
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there.
And so, so did you dig? So let's talk about, like, I haven't actually got it on my question list here, but quite often in military sites, and so even some of these old sites, you come across a dump. So, like, obviously a dump would have, the hole just gets deeper and deeper and keeps going on.
Generally,
So,
yeah.
so how far do you, like, I know people who just dig dumps, right? But how far do you go? What sort of things have come out of dumps? What have you seen come out of dumps? Because there's some interesting stuff comes out of them.
Well, a lot of the actual dumps or burn pits that we find is where a lot of the soldiers used to, you know, obviously they had to dump their gear, and being a wartime period, they had to get rid of it, so there was no evidence or very little evidence left. So some of these particular pits and dumps can be 2 meters deep by 3 meters in diameter. Sometimes even a lot bigger. We've actually got in there with long handle shovels and spent a lot of time on them.
Yeah.
And the things that we've pulled out of them, obviously you'll have bottles and boots, and we find army badges in there.
Oh, really? So do you find these dumps are more general household stuff than, let's say, even on a military, an old military base? Do you find they're more general household stuff? Or is it a mixture of
It's a mixture.
badges and buttons and everything?
It's a mixture. So you get household stuff. So let me pull a lot of bottles out. We've got, do you know the cobalt blue bottles?
I do know cobalt blue bottles, yes.
Excuse me. We've found French perfume cobalt blue bottles in there.
Oh, really?
Green 1940s copyrighted, where it's actually copyrighted on the side of the bottles, Coke bottles.
Oh, really?
We found those. We found obviously gun magazines in there. We've found buckles and God knows what else, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, sauce bottles and implements. My favourite are the actual forks and cutlery gear and mess kits.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of those, and what the soldiers will do is sometimes they'll engrave their names and their serial numbers on them.
Okay.
So there's a lot of history there, you know.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So those, I'm very interested because some of those blokes just do dump diving, and old dump diving. So it's a fascinating. We should actually. I know a couple of people. I don't know whether they'd be willing to come on the camera who just do that. That'd be an interesting conversation sort of thing. So right, what else have we got here, Craig?
Actually, I just thought of something, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
One of my friends found some army chevrons from an officer.
All right.
So it was still left on the shirt. And we dug that out, and there was 70 years in the ground there.
Pip sort of thing?
No, that's a pip, and I'm talking about the sergeant's chevrons.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The stripes.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
So that was quite a good find, and it gets back to what I was saying last time we came on. We've found newspaper from the 40s in the ground.
How does that
know.
survive? You know, it's bizarre, isn't it? How some things survive and must just have exactly the right environment to not rot and not a lot of moisture and not a lot of this and not a lot of that.
It's incredible. We'll sit beside the pit we're digging, reading the newspaper from 1942.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's different than some of the stuff you dig up sort of thing. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So, tell me the story about this little fella here.
That's something you don't see too often.
No, that's a bit unique. I'm trying to get it a bit bigger for everyone here, so we can. So I'll punch it across a bit bigger.
That's it.
So, 1 cent.
So that's an American 1 cent piece, and on the back of that is Old Honest Abe.
Old Honest Abe.
Right.
Awesome.
So what the Americans call it is a stinking Lincoln. That's their nickname for the 1 cent pieces.
Yep.
So I found that yesterday amongst all our Australian pre-decimal coins.
Okay.
So it just goes to show you folks that, you could be hunting an area, even an old area that is such where I was.
Yep.
You can still find something like that in there. So
Yeah.
obviously that was a World War II era
Drop.
coin.
Yeah.
Maybe it was brought back by one of the soldiers or something, and he's walking through that area. And
It could have been too. That's the thing that really gets me about some of these coins is how did it get there? How did it, that sort of thing. The how that travelled there is just yeah. So what's that? That's just a half. It's a good quality half.
that is a good quality half.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing, this particular site that I've been going to, well, there was a mixture of them, but this last one that I did yesterday, we were pulling, or should I say I was pulling, lots and lots of these half pennies.
Yeah.
Right, that are around 1914, around the World War One era.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And they were absolutely immaculate. As you can see the detail on it.
Yeah. Yeah,
they
that's
were mostly coming out like that.
Yeah. And both sides quality?
Both side quality.
Yeah.
Bugger all wear, so they've been dropped back this era. Because don't forget, it was the 1880s.
Yeah.
When it was, so yeah, they were relatively new when they got dropped.
Yeah.
As you can see by the lack of wear.
Yeah. Okay, so we've rattled through a lot of the coins there.
We have.
While we've got it up, while we've got us shrunk, I suppose, I just want to remind everyone about the Southeast Queensland Nugget Hunt, which is at April 24th. I can see it on the screen now. So if you're interested in 3 days of detecting and panning, and there's some relic sites out there as well, so don't think it's just gold. So I've actually yes, I think I've got a lead on the old pub out there, so I'd be willing to share that for a quiet beer in the afternoon. So but yeah, so make sure you get onto that. Donnie's just put the events page link up. Thank you for that, Donnie. Donnie's put it up 37 times in about a minute. So well done, Donnie. I didn't think your fingers had moved that quick, but yeah. So the Southeast Queensland Nugget Hunt's coming up. Also, what's coming up in about 3 weeks' time is Wedderburn, the big gold-focused event at Wedderburn. So if someone from Wedderburn can send me a link for that, I can put it up next week. And don't forget that Wednesday Wednesday is the draw for this nugget. All you need to do is go over to the Gold Diggers YouTube channel.
Yep.
Here it is here, actually.
There it is.
Go over to the Gold Diggers YouTube channel and subscribe and comment in that video. Yeah, it's a cracking little nugget. It doesn't really, it's actually a real pendant piece.
It is.
See that photo there? It's got a good attachment point at the top. You could almost call that a heart. I almost did, but anyway, so that's the little giveaway. That's 6 point something grams, 6.6 grams, I think. Yes, so that's a little thing we're doing. It's drawn Wednesday, and Wednesday I send that out to someone, so make sure you get over there and have a look at it. Right, that's enough events and stuff for the time being. I've got a couple more little things here, but so let's make us huge again while we're talking about this stuff. So okay, relic hunting.
Relic hunting.
Let's start at the beginning. How do you go about researching something? Is it something that you say, well, right, I want to go into this area?
Yeah.
Or is it something where you hear a whisper about something and go, dink, 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 one leads to three? Or how does that, tell me how that works from a research point of view, particularly military, but I suppose it applies to most things as well. Yeah,
it does. Well, basically it starts at home. Get on the computer. One site I must stress, which is excellent, is Trove. Right.
Yeah, Trove is a...
It all depends on what kind of hunting you want to do, what kind of relic hunting you want to do. I myself, as a military hunter, I will go through, obviously, the government sites are a big help.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll research from home, do all that, and then I'll go out from there and I'll do my recon.
Yeah.
So, you're constantly looking over your shoulder, you're driving along, go, oh, what's that, or what's this? And one thing leads to another. This is very, very simple, very basic stuff. I'm not going into anything too deep. It's not hard to understand. Talking to people. If you go out to those particular sites, it always helps to go down and, I like going to the RSL. So you can go down to the RSL, you go in and have a drink and you talk to the older generation down there. You'll get talking to one person and someone will overhear you and go, oh, wait a minute, my grandfather saw that happen over the hill here.
Yeah.
And one lead leads to another one.
Yeah.
So I think it comes down to starting at home, getting onto the older sites. You've got to have Trove. Look, I can't stress enough. It's got so much information, and you could spend months and months and months, as you know yourself.
You could spend years on Trove and not even scratch the surface. Yep. The stuff that's in there is just mental.
Incredible.
Like every newspaper in Australia. You know how long it takes you to read every newspaper in Australia?
Yep. Exactly right. you haven't got enough time in the lifetime to do that. But anyway, you talk to people. Like I've had permission, or I go onto one permission, and the next door neighbours will come over for a chat, for goodness sakes, and they'll say, oh, so and so up the road here, you can get onto his property, or he'll ring someone, and it just keeps flowing.
Yeah.
I've struck permissions where I've been out on the beach. And I've been swinging on the beach, and someone's come up and had a chat to me. And you'll stop and you have a chat, and you'll say, well, I've got a property up at so-and-so. Do you want to go on there?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So, but for everyone else, go on, look at government sites, right? And also be persistent with your searching, when your search engines. Just keep trying, changing the way you describe things, change the words. It all depends on what you're after, whether it's gold or whether it's relics or historical sites. Just keep changing and persisting with it.
Yeah, yeah. I find that I think quite often, particularly with private property, you just need one yes.
That's it.
Right?
That's it.
With one yes, I know this bloke and I know this bloke.
That's right.
And this bloke's got an old building there.
That's right.
Yeah. And like. That's what happens with me with gold. I get in, I get one little corner, and then all of a sudden everything else opens up because you get known around the neighbourhood as not being an idiot.
Exactly.
And once you prove you're not an idiot, the doors seem to open.
Exactly.
They're quite closed to idiots. Like if you go out there and you leave holes, you leave rubbish,
Yep.
you'll never get on anywhere.
Exactly right.
Right? But if you're doing the right thing, you know, the best thing to do is if you're going out to a farmer's place to take a fresh loaf of bread, is often a good gesture, you know, just to say, oh, listen, I picked up a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
You know, I quite often do that sort of thing. And
sure.
Um,
This site I was on yesterday, basically, this guy, I've been there twice now. And the guy is actually, I got talking to him, and he's actually a coin collector, just like me.
yeah.
Right, and I said, oh, well, look, I'll see what I can get out of the ground. And, you know, as you could see what I've been getting. So I give this guy some coins. He's wrapped, mate.
Yeah.
Right, and you can see that, you know, if you, like you said, if you leave the ground the way you found it, you're not going to ever have a problem.
And so many people are knocking trees over and leaving big holes and rubbish everywhere, and it is just
It gets the whole hobby
it's
bad
just
name.
it's just terrible. So fill your holes in. So
Yep.
right. So okay, you've researched an area.
Yep.
You've got the permission.
Yep.
What are you looking for when you first walk through the gate?
Access points.
Right.
Right. So the first thing you want to do is you want to see where people will be going in and coming out. So you want to see where the main traffic is, because obviously the main traffic and the most concentrated area where people are going to be moving, you're going to get your best chances of the targets that you're actually desiring, which in my case is coins. So I will see that. Well, I'll be looking for old fence posts. I'll be looking for old access, say at the front of the street. You'll be looking for where an old driveway was. You'll be looking for footpaths, all sorts of things like that. If you're on a house site, say an old house site, for example, see this picture we've got behind us now where there's an old house. I would be looking for the old clothesline and where the backyard is and places like that, and pathways, so your entrance and exit and all those sorts of areas.
Yeah. And obviously that obviously this is a bit more modern than what
True.
the older stuff, but obviously that lean-tos are where the cars park, so they're getting out of the car and walking to the front door.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's actually a beautiful old building, that at Warwick. It's about to fall over, but it's a nice old building. It's one of my favourites out there. So, right. So then I suppose, what are targets, like individual targets? Do some targets give you an indication how the site was used, and do then target concentrations? Can you read into those target concentrations? So if you're getting a lot of coins in one direction or one area, how does that come into your brain?
Yep.
Like,
absolutely. That's very valuable. I use that in military site hunting.
Yep.
So obviously to get a concentration of targets tells me straight away that there was a lot of, say, camp areas. There was one site that I went out to, just took me about 3.5-4 hours to get there, but when I went out there and I found the actual slabs, I found an ablution area, and I wanted to go...
Slabs are another good thing to
absolutely
keep an eye out for.
Absolutely. So that was the first thing I was looking for, infrastructure. So I found the infrastructure, and I thought to myself, next I need to find the targets, I need to find a campsite. So I did a perimeter check, and I just worked my way around and around and around. Detecting. Yep, just swinging around and slowly closed in on an area until I hit targets, bottles, and then I just gridded backwards and forwards, and I got a line. I got this line, perfect line of coins, and they were probably about 10 feet wide, but it went in a certain direction which lined up with the ablution blocks.
Okay.
So that told me that they were right on the edge of the camp, right where the ablution block was, and then I could figure out exactly how the camp was set up and where it was.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, because everyone's got to...
That's it.
Go to the outhouse.
Yeah, and you're taking your duds off, taking your pants off, and the coins are falling out, or you're having it like Warren. He said something very interesting the other day. He would look for a 2-up area.
Yep.
Right, and he uses that rule of thumb to figure out where that 2-up area or 2-up pit was.
Okay.
Right, and where the edge of the camp where they were camping.
Yeah.
So it's very valuable.
Yeah. No, that's interesting, and I suppose that not only, as you were saying before, that like getting permissions leads to another permission, but do you then, like when you look at a site, do you then go, right, well this was the camp, where's this, where's that? Like, does that lead to other sites? Or has that led to other sites without you knowing that? Like, obviously, if you research a military base, there's a building here, but you can see the maps, the old maps, because the army were pretty good at that. The military were pretty good at that.
Well, that's the other thing I'll do. Too. I'll get the maps.
Yeah.
If I'm after a site, I'll get the maps.
And that's Oz at War is a good spot to start with that stuff.
That's number one.
Yeah, Oz at War. So OZ at War. Yeah, of course. What other sites do you use it?
There's a government one. Just a plain. You go on government something or other. Blah, 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 blah. I can't remember what it was because it's in the phone.
Is that a search term?
Sorry. It's just me rattling like rubbish. But yeah, there's a government one you can go on to, and I'm sorry, but I don't have the information for you at the moment.
Yeah,
but,
we might put it up after the show, that link.
Yeah, that's amazing, that one. And basically it'll go right back and it'll link off from here and there. And then it'll give the maps that are particular sites that you're after. But if you do that, you're going to halve the amount of work that you have to do out on site, because it will generally tell you exactly where the ablution blocks are. It'll tell you where the generator huts were, the mess huts and all the rest of it.
Hospital,
all around that hospital,
officers club, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, there was one I did actually, and it had generator huts and it had everything. It had the whole full layout of the camp. The whole camp was just bushland. It was completely overgrown. But I was there, mate. I had half the problem solved. So once I went in, I found one slab. Then I looked at my map and I went from there and detected around like I do in a circle and worked my way in. Then I found where the road went.
Yep.
And I found, like basic, how they'll use a lot of the road bases got iron and stuff in it. So I found that. And then I found the culverts and where they had the edge of the drainage.
Yep.
And I uncovered all that, and I found where the entrance to the camp was. And then I found where the huts were.
Yep.
And then the coining started.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
So,
yeah. It's fascinating. And so, excluding that, where you look up the maps, have you ever gone into a camp, right, and found a site, detected a whole lot, and then thought, where is this, or where does this lead me? Does it lead you to another site?
Not really.
Yep.
No. Generally, that particular site. Yeah.
Yep.
Only.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the. I thought it might have led to another area, and where's this and where's that sort of thing.
No, just in the general area. And
Yeah. It's very interesting to. There's an area I go not too far away from the shop here that the walking paths were two different sizes.
Oh, I see.
One was a standard walking path. One was 4 meters wide.
Yep.
And after a bit of research, that actually twigged in my brain. Why is this different? And it was actually a military viewing station in World War II.
Yep.
So they it had a good view over the city and the bay.
Yep.
And so they used to drive the trucks up there to resupply the blokes. So very interesting little thing. So
Yep.
right. So what other? I better do the. A bit of an intro again. We've got about 15 minutes left for you to go into the draw for the digger's pouch. So all you need to do is share this live stream before the end of it, and you'll go into the draw to win this digger's pouch. So for those that don't know, I'm Ben from Gold Diggers. This is Craig from Ozzy Metal Detecting. Craig's got the world's greatest Facebook page, or one of the operators of the world's greatest Facebook page. Big relic hunting page, probably, well, certainly the best in Australia, probably the best in the world. Is that an overstatement, Craig? Probably, yeah. But it's very well moderated, so the kids can go on there, and it's
we're just a humble little site.
yes, a humble little site. Yes. So, and I want to say hello to Bianca here, Ty, Paul Olsen's here. G'day, Paul. Rowena, Paul, another Paul. Trev's here, Lisa, Jem Q's here. Yes. Yeah. So there's stacks and stacks of people here. Thank you for joining us, guys. So I just wanted to mention a couple of things. I'm not really going to tell you what these things are, but look out on Thursday. I've got a big trip. I won't be in the shop, so I've got a big trip on Thursday. So I'm going to do a live stream at probably about 7:30 in the morning. Yep. I'll do a live stream, and then I hope to do one about lunchtime from my destination, and then so it'll be it's actually not metal detecting or fossicking or anything like that. So it's a very, very interesting little... I'll leave a little bit of intrigue there, but look out for it Thursday.
Always good to have some mystery.
And then hopefully Friday, we'll have some gold in the pocket on Friday. I'm going up to help a bloke see if we can work out what's going on in his property. So
sounds great, mate.
If I've got internet there, I'll do a bit of live stream.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of live streams happening through it later on in the week.
Great.
Right, so okay, guys. So while we're talking about announcements and stuff, I'm going to get to some questions in a minute. So if you've got any questions for me and Craig, feel free to shout out. But I just want to remind everyone about that Southeast Queensland Nugget Hunt again. I think there's a couple of powered sites left. There's not many, so if you're interested in coming to that and want a powered site, you need to really talk to Donnie about that pretty soon. But it is going to be a cracking 4-day weekend. So yes, so a great little site there.
Thanks, Lan. I appreciate that you love the site. Yeah, we try to do our best. And Jan, we'll look out for your access too. You wanted to get on the site as well, so I'll have a look later on and we'll join you up unless one of the boys have done that.
Yeah. People are asking about Redcliffe. Had a really good weekend at Redcliffe. Talked to a lot of people. It was windy, dusty, but I had a ball. So
it's a bit dusty down there.
Yeah. For those that didn't know, I was right on the race course.
Yeah.
And that I think it's decomposed granite or something. My God. When the wind blows, it was 40 knots on Thursday and Friday.
Oh my God. It would have swirled around a bit.
I'm putting up the gazebo by myself. I've got one corner strapped to the fence. I'm hanging on to the other corner. It was a bit of a, I actually gave up trying to put it up by myself, and I closed it back up and I strapped it up. Yeah. And I went up the road. There was a bloke selling. You seen these screw-in pegs?
Yeah.
I went up and I bought these screw-in pegs, and I marked my spot and I put the peg in before I even opened the gazebo and just hooked it up because I'll tell you, it was that blowy, it almost took me away. So, right, so have we got some questions here? Let's just scroll through. What do you say when you're asking a landowner for permission? From Shane. What do you say?
What do I say? All right, we'll introduce it. Well, first of all, when you go up to the landowner, don't take any metal detecting gear with you. All right, leave all that in the car.
Step number 1.
Don't do it. Yeah. All right, they're going to see you coming and they're going to shut the door and disappear. So you go up there and dress. Don't go up in your thongs and half-ripped shirts and everything. Go up, half decent.
Yeah.
Be very polite. Don't swear, and just introduce yourself. Tell them what you're doing. You're interested. Say that you're interested in recovering history and you're out to protect things. And for goodness sakes, don't go and start digging in the grass without giving them a demonstration to start with. I always give them a demonstration and say, listen, can I take you over here and show you, just to prove? Some people say no, some people say yes, but it goes a long way because you're proving. They don't know who you are. They don't know who you are by sight. But if you can show them that you're actually looking after the ground,
Yeah.
right? Keep it short and sweet too, because they don't want you standing around yakking on for hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to get knockbacks, right? Grow a thick skin. It happens. It's life. People just don't want you on there.
You're one closer to us, yes.
Right. And forget about letterbox drops, because you probably get one yes out of 100 no's.
Or 1,000.
Or 1,000. You go up to the people, be very, very polite. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
All right?
So, for gold prospecting, it's a little bit different, particularly in areas where it's like Warwick, for instance, where it's very heavily trafficked and lots of people have done the wrong thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I actually find that if I go in, I actually find I need to meet someone first, right?
Yep.
That's the first step. I've got to meet someone. So I've got to spend a little bit of time in the area.
Yeah.
There'll be a local pub that some of the farmers go to. Like on a Friday afternoon, I'll go and have a beer.
Perfect place to start.
And just start chatting to the grizzliest, oldest looking, you know, someone who you wouldn't be seen dead with, someone that you wouldn't take your missus to go and sit next to, sort of thing. But that's how I do it. I actually start talking to these old fellas and asking about the history of the area and what happened, and you know, most of them were alive when the gold rush was on, so these old blokes have been still in the bar since the gold rush was open. But that's once you get known with gold prospecting. So for instance, most people find Warwick very, very hard to get on private property, right? I know people who have done exactly what I've done and are on 20 properties out there.
Absolutely.
So it's not, if you approach it the right way, get to know someone, right, and do it all with respect. It's just door open after door open after door open sort of thing.
I know, I'm from the country. I'm from the South Burnett. Country
there was something
areas.
wrong with you.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, you're right, because country people they are very giving, right?
Yeah.
But you've got to get in there first.
Yeah.
So it does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Really. And
Yeah.
once you do that, it will get around. Being a small town or wherever you might be.
Yeah.
It will get around real quick.
Joanne makes a point here. It says, one fella told me he wouldn't give me permission, but I have permission to trespass. So what he's doing there is guaranteeing that you're not going to break your leg and sue him, sort of thing. So
well, you know, talking about public liability and people suing each other and all the rest of it, and unfortunately we all know these days that public liability is a big thing. I carry waiver forms.
Yep.
So another thing is, if people start getting a bit worried about you coming on their property, you can always offer them a waiver form, and I do that, and that helps me in a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, just give it a go.
Yeah. Bianca also makes a good point about, so particularly in the bush, if you're going onto a property, have I got Daniel's card here somewhere? I thought I had one here, but anyway, when you're going on a farmer's property, right, you knock on the door, no one's home, okay? Guaranteed someone will have seen you, right? And someone will tell the farmer, oh, someone was at your place today. If you can, there's a couple of guys, Daniel's got a good business card, but he's actually got some business cards printed. They're pretty cheap to get business cards printed with a name and phone number, and this is me. I think he's even got a photo of him on it. This is what I do. So if no one's home, that's often a nice thing to do. Just say, I was here, you weren't home. Here's my phone number. You know, it just proves that you haven't robbed the place.
Yeah,
or, you know,
absolutely. No, I agree.
sort of
Bianca said that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, that's fine. That's good. I don't. Everyone's different. You know, I don't do that. I just think it's a waste of time, in my opinion. Maybe not for you, Bianca. You know, go for it.
Yeah.
But
Ian also asks, do you offer a percentage of what you find? Do you do anything with relics when you're on a private permission?
Do I do anything with
like, do you offer to share the finds with them? Or?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, you know, I think that's the biggest thing to do. The biggest respectful thing to do with the homeowner or the property owner or whatever, the manager, is to first up, when you go on there, offer them first dibs.
Yeah.
You know, and coins. And like I said, the last place I went to, I said, look, mate, anything I pull out of the ground is yours. And the guy said to me, he said, no, don't worry about it. But I did. I gave him some.
Yeah.
And you know what? He said to me, he said, Craig, he said, listen, I've seen the way you dig. I cannot see where you've been whatsoever after you've left, and you've left some coins behind. So they appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to come back. Yeah. In most cases. You know.
Yeah. So, from a gold point of view, people are asking what percentage, and that varies dramatically. So, I've got one permission at Warwick where, there's that I basically get to keep all the gold, right?
It's pretty good, isn't it?
But part of it is when I'm out there, I run around the water troughs, make sure the cattle got water, right? It's another head on the property that he knows and trusts.
Yep.
And if there's a problem, I'll fix it, or I'll ring him and say, listen, there's a problem here, I couldn't fix it.
Beauty.
So
way to be.
That's his upside.
Yeah.
Right? I've got a place up north that's pretty rich with gold, but it's a 50-50 split. I just half of what I get, the owner gets, sort of thing. And partly because, well, the owner's upside is that I'm training him.
Yep.
Right? And you know, most of the gold I give him, he gives me back and buys gear. So it's a bit of it's a training. He gets a lot of information off me. So like it's a real upside for him as well, sort of thing.
But
so
is he going to let you back on after he's bought all the gear and you've taught him how to do everything?
Oh, for me, like I don't go there to just get as much gold as I can, sort of thing. For me, if I do, and it's about doing the right thing again. Like if I do the right thing with him, right, his neighbour will say to, you should talk to Ben. Yeah. Like, so it's not about, like, I'm more than happy for him to shut me out. Yeah. You know, like I've had a bit of fun.
I would be too.
I've sold some gear. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Lots of people are keen to shut me out. So
that always plays on your mind, though. You always think that way. But you on the other hand, on the flip side, you know, you've gone in, you've been grateful enough to be able to get that access to it.
Yeah.
And you've shared a lot with those people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, Bianca makes a good point. It's just about half past. We've got a lot of questions here, so we might rattle through a few more. But Bianca asks a good question, and neither of us are experienced with it. But Bianca's asking about as a young woman, it can look a bit weird, and you can feel uncomfortable. Oh, yeah, there's a couple of good women's Facebook groups that are good to get involved with, Bianca.
Yeah.
And for anyone that feels a bit that way, it's good to hook up with like-minded people.
Yep. And
do it as a bit of a team. I know there's a heap of those outings on some of those women's groups that are, you know.
Yep.
So so you know that's probably the safest way to do it, even as a for anyone. Like I particularly from a gold prospecting point of view, I feel uncomfortable really getting into it, right, and going remote by myself in case I fall over and break my leg.
Yeah, or
a snake, or a right.
Yeah.
So I often think it's better if you can get, like, it's hard to find people you can put up with. Well, for me, it's hard to put up with in the bush. Right, some people are hard work.
Totally. Totally.
You know, and then the second thing is, particularly with this yellow stuff, make an agreement before you go out. Right, that what I find is mine and what you find is yours, and there's no crossover.
Yep.
Right, that puts things. I've seen friends fall out in a fairly large way over this yellow stuff. So
some crazy things, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's that sheep station stuff that buggers it up, sort of thing. Right. So but Relics less territorial, but it still can happen.
Oh, mate, I don't think it's really the relics, it's the coin.
Yeah.
You know? But
Yeah.
it's similar.
Yeah. Right, is there any quick questions here? Lisa printed, here we go, 250 cards from Vistaprint for $30.
I'd do the same.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Way to go, Lisa.
Yeah. So that's the sort of thing. It's good, and it makes you look a little bit more professional. So if you go, oh, this is me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've got mine as well. The other thing I just want to add too is, if one thing that works, and Bianca too, I'll aim this at you. I think that full marks that you're doing this, but it might not work for other people. I totally agree with you. I think what you're doing is brilliant. There's nothing wrong with that. We're not picking on that at all. But other people have different ways of doing things. So if something else works for you, whoever you are, go with it. You know.
Yeah.
But the Vistaprint's a great site too. I must say, I get quite a number of those.
Yeah.
Promotional items off there.
Yeah, and like we're not necessarily promoting Vistaprint here. They're not a sponsor of the show by any stretch of the imagination. There is probably stacks and stacks of people that print cheap business cards, but
that's right.
there's an example of one. So, but anyway, that's Vistaprint is like having a business card is a good way to go.
Yep.
Particularly if you're doing a lot of that door knock stuff.
Yes.
So,
and can I just point something out real quick?
Yeah.
Trudy has just put up something there. It says Code of Ethics.
Yep.
Now, Code of Ethics, I have a Code of Ethics on the back of my cards.
that's
Right?
not a bad way
And-
to work too.
Oh, that goes a long way, Ben. That goes
This
a
is
long way.
how I operate.
Yes.
Yeah. Right, so the messages just keep going. We're after 8:30. So what we're going to do is we're going to close the prize draw now, and we're going to we'll go through and see if there's any
Cody, yes, I have found a gold sovereign.
gold sovereign. Tell me the sovereign story.
I have. Again, research. I can't stress it enough. Okay. I found it in a very remote little area. I'm not going to go into where. But
Come on, just give me the coordinates.
No.
You don't need to tell me anymore. Just the coordinates.
1899, and this baby blew my headphones off, stopped me dead in my tracks. I've never heard something so loud, and the actual TIDs just did not make sense what it was. So I had to investigate, and this thing was probably about 3 inches down, and when I popped it, I was just like 2 steps back, mate. Honestly.
What? So
2 steps back.
what year was it?
1899.
1899.
1899.
And what, okay, don't tell me where it is, but was it a relic site? Was it a World War II site? What like?
No, it's just an older.
Give me some feeling.
It was an older, pretty much looking like what you've seen behind this kind of thing. It's an older site that obviously someone had, I don't know how it got dropped or whatever, but it was relatively shallow because the ground was rather hard.
Yeah.
Like it was on the weekend. And I don't know. It just obviously popped out of someone's pocket or whatever.
Yep.
Or
Was it a full or a half, Cody?
Full.
Full one?
Full one.
Yeah. People are asking for pictures here.
Do I have pictures? No, I don't have pictures. No. Unfortunately, I didn't put any up.
Yeah.
That was just someone just made a comment then, did I find one? Yes, I did.
Yeah, cool.
And I never thought I'd ever find one in my life, but...
Well, I haven't. It's the only coin, apart from that shilling, that I'm interested in finding.
Well, I was shaking. I had a mate with me,
Yeah.
and he looked at me, and I was just looking really strangely enough, and I picked it up, and the first thing I saw was the dragon, and I knew what it was.
Yeah.
And I had it in my hand, and I walked over to him, and he's looking at me, and what he does is he clenches a fist when he finds something and comes up and he says, open your hand up. So I did the same to him, and I'm shaking and carrying on. He says, you're all right? And I said, yeah, open up. Dropped it in his hand, and he nearly fell over.
Yeah.
He just went blank.
Yeah.
But it's good to be able to share it with someone.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, so coin cleaning comes up, right?
Yes.
So coin cleaning, if you've got a decent coin, don't clean it, right? It's probably worth more without being cleaned. There's these Treborius pencils that have got like a...
Andre's pencil.
Andre pencils, I should say.
Yeah,
this is
good.
the Treborius wax that I was mixing things up with. But these pencils are good for cleaning coins, but if it's a 1930 penny Do not touch it. You will bugger it up. So, so
30. Oof.
yeah. So
And that goes for a 1923 halfpenny as well. There.
yeah. There's a couple of
Low.
rare ones.
Rare mint.
In fact, so and that's the preserving wax. That Taboris preserving wax is really good. Artifact preservation enhancement balm.
Ah.
Yes. So it's
Have you got an example of one you did?
of what?
Of a coin that you already used it on? Or?
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I did half a. I
On
did
the
a
pip?
corner of a pip, but
Oh, yeah, cool.
It still looks pretty good.
Yeah. So what does it do? Does it actually shine it up, or does it just kind of preserve it?
It preserves it, stop it
It's like a wax,
rusting anymore.
Oh, yeah.
So you put that on a rusty bit of metal, and it'll
Yeah,
stop it rusting. So
stabilises
it
it.
stabilises it where it is. So, right, okay, time for the live stream. The live stream. We're already on.
We're on the live stream.
Don't worry about me. Randomizer time. So,
Right.
okay, let me run the randomizer here. Let me just get it organised. There is a couple of questions there I noticed. I will get a book in a minute. I think I can find it over there. But tonight's winner is Tony Kelly. Congratulations, Tony. I don't know where you're from, Tony.
Congrats, Tony.
Yep.
Awesome stuff.
You've got the digger's pouch, mate. I'll contact you straight out of the show after the show. That's it there.
There it is.
Let me just see if I can find this book quickly.
Yep.
It's the coin book.
Coin book. Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a question there. Is a 1911 penny rare? No. I found about 2 or 3 over the last 2 weeks in good nick, actually.
Yeah, so I don't know where my Renarks book is. So there's a Renarks book you can get that is that lists every coin.
Yep.
And it lists the mintage, so it
Yep.
tells you how many that was made.
Yep.
And it gives you a high quality price, like an uncirculated price,
Yep.
all the way through to a crap price.
Yeah, I've got one of those. They're
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
got one here too somewhere.
Yeah.
I
Does it show? It shows errors as well. I think.
I think it's got some errors in it. I don't think it's
Yeah.
got all of them, sort of thing. There's a lot of modern errors too, like
Yeah.
there's a dollar coins that got a bit of errors in it and what have you. But I've got that book somewhere. I might even. I'm due to get another one, an updated version, because I think it's last year's. So.
I found an error today. Actually, it was a 1938 threepence, and it had a die error down on one of the threes.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That
I
might
got
be worth a couple of dollars.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look at it. I think I saw them there for about $90, I believe. Some of those errors on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
threepence.
yeah. Righto, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Craig, for coming along.
Oh, pleasure as usual.
Thank you for watching. It still amazes me that people watch this stuff. So, yeah.
Well, I must be getting something out of it.
Yeah, so thanks very much, guys. Tony, I'll contact you straight after the show, and I will organise to have that.
Yep.
I've got a list of people who I've forgotten to do stuff for, so Leanne, Drew, and Bodell, I will be getting back to you shortly. So thank you very much for watching, everyone. This has been Monday Night Live 57. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Stay safe.
See you Thursday, actually.
Yep.
So hopefully Thursday. See you guys.
See you guys. Bye.